offense looks great.
So here let's bring Leroy. Ask him.
Leroy, Leroy,
you tell us if he
you
can
can't
play
start
like this.
Jacoby Brissett.
First of all,
playing better teams. It's going to be harder.
Let me stop this lunacy right now. Okay?
Someone has to.
And here's how I'm going to stop it. Why is everybody so consumed with how teams used to be?
Okay.
What does that mean?
Keep talking about it, because you sound like you're on my side.
If all these teams are either 1-2 or 2-1, why are you giving them so much more credit of being good than the Browns?
Talk about it, Leroy.
Because their preseason
I don't know what you're
just
talking
ended.
about.
Who cares about the preseason?
No, that's what the first 3 games have been.
Leroy is
That's
smart.
the new preseason.
Leroy, you went to the team up north, but you a smart guy.
I don't
man.
understand what
You smart
I don't
guy.
understand who he's defending
You know
or
what?
what he's arguing against.
He's-
I don't know.
Let me
explain something.
About what?
Hold on.
About these,
Let me
y'all
explain
worried
something
about all
to
these other teams.
You just said you'd take Jacoby Brissett over Joe Burrow.
You
Is he
backed me
defending
in the corner. I wasn't ready. I panicked.
Drill down on that. Leroy, drill down on what you're saying. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Leroy.
And by the way,
Yeah.
if that's what you claiming I agreed with you with, that's a lie. Okay? So I don't want to see no scroll on the bottom of the screen. I don't want to see none of that. Talking about Leroy said Jacoby Brissett was better than Joe Burrow.
I didn't say that.
You on
He
the
got Perry
island by
Mason.
yourself.
Leroy, he tricked me. He tricked me.
He got Perry
Here's what I'm
Mason.
gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say about the Browns.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why, first of all, I said before the season started, and y'all remember this, Amari Cooper is one of the best route runners in the league.
Yes.
I told y'all this.
Yes.
And the one thing that he was going to give any quarterback that plays for the Browns is separation. So Amari Cooper's being who he is. One of the reasons why he's being able to exploit that even more is, as you guys say, single coverage. But let me ask you this. Who you going to double Amari Cooper with and stop Nick Chubb?
That's right.
That's
Nobody.
The problem.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
problem.
Okay, so let's take it back another step and do this. If you roll the coverage to Amari Cooper, okay, then those other guys don't have to be as open.
Right.
They're going to be open because they got a whole bunch of field to operate in. So there's a method to all this madness that allows Jacoby Brissett to be the best version of him. But it all starts, as I told you, when the season started. I don't care who's the quarterback. The Browns are going to win or lose based on how they run the football and how they play defense. If you start there and then add a top 5 quarterback, and then add an excellent route runner, and then add a tight end who's dominating the middle of the field, and then add some other guys that can catch the ball, you become that much more dynamic. But you have to have a starting point. What's happening with all these teams that you think are going to be good that have struggled, is they don't know who the hell they are.
Yeah. Identity check.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Don't get caught up in your ego and think the only way you can win a football game is by scoring 35 points. If you looked at the point totals in the NFL, they are all really low.
You are right about that.
What I want to know.
Okay?
Why,
guess
Leroy?
what? Guess whose hand that plays into? That plays into teams who run the ball well and play sound defense.
You're absolutely right.
This is the question that I have. I literally just said almost all of that, and it was World War III up in here. But
well,
you
because
said
you also
was the
said that
packaging.
you would take Brissett over Burrow. So all of that
It's
is
all about the delivery.
Your packaging.
Your delivery ain't right.
I just think we.
Your delivery ain't right.
Good. Yeah. All right.
You gotta have a delivery.
you gotta have the
What you mean?
You gotta have the preacher mentality.
I was
But you can't-
passionate.
but you
I
can't-
was saying why.
I'm just saying,
I literally said all of this.
It's too early in
I
the
was
season to make
passionate.
sweeping judgments about who's great.
You're right
and
about
who's,
that,
it's
Bull.
early.
Hey,
I mean,
Leroy,
it just
I
got
have a question
calm
for you,
up in
Leroy,
here.
because you touched on something that's kind of been a theme for us this week,
They don't respect
and that
me.
is that it all of a sudden is becoming this defensive league. you're seeing quarterbacks like Rodgers and Brady and Mahomes and Josh Allen, even though Allen put up big numbers, they're not making the pinball machine go. And we've talked about it yesterday a little bit. It almost seems like the league is starting to overcorrect from this, 40 points a game mentality, where perhaps they're spending more draft capital on defense, or maybe it's just they're figuring out schemes to stop these quarterbacks. Or is it just that nobody plays in the preseason anymore, and it's taken the first 3 weeks for them to work out
or
the
a
kinks?
coincidence that it's 2 weeks and,
I don't know.
No,
I'm asking
let me tell you.
That preseason
You
thing bothers
guys,
Jay.
you guys watch sports.
Bothers me.
You watch all different sports at all different levels. And what is the one thing that'll destroy a team more than anything?
Money.
Making you one-dimensional. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, when this offensive boom first happened, it was all about creative ways to get the ball outside into your playmakers' hands and whatever. Then it became all of a sudden just chucking the ball down the field and trying to make big plays all the time.
Right.
And so you're going to have, if you notice, your upper echelon offensive teams are not the teams that have the 70-yard plays. It's teams that go 15 plays down the field.
Like the Browns
And be
have.
consistent. And be consistent. And so when you look at those offensive teams, they may not always score 30, 35 points. But I watched it this past week. Man, I watched one of the most incredible games I've ever seen for this reason.
Ohio State versus Wisconsin.
You just shut up, Leroy Horde.
That's how you control the crowd right there, man.
Control the crowd. You can control the crowd by singing a song that ain't on your album. That's what you just did. We came to see you do your hits and you singing cover music from another band. That's what you just did.
Rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What was the game?
What
What was the second best game you watched?
So the Buffalo Bills had 90 plays of offense.
Yeah.
And the Miami Dolphins had 40.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
And talk about the time of possession swing.
That's
The
crazy.
time of I never saw Miami run offense.
I haven't either. It was unbelievable.
I'm still waiting. But guess what? When they did,
They scored.
It was awesome. But so you look.
Mike McDaniel.
So this is gonna cause. Look, this is changing the way we look at numbers in a football game, because with teams not being able to get the ball in the end zone, you can have 500 yards of total offense. If you only score 17 points, that's a win for the defense. Damn the numbers, damn the yards.
Yep.
So, and this is what's happening throughout. You see these teams move the ball up and down the field, and I'm going to tell you, here's how it starts. The next coach that puts his quarterback in shotgun on the 2-yard line should get fired immediately.
I can't stand that.
I
You know
agree
what?
with
Urban
you.
Meyer started that nonsense.
Wow.
You can't do it.
Wow.
I'm telling you, as a running
Used
back,
to drive me nuts.
hey, when I'm on the 2-yard line, as soon as the cadence start, I'm like,
Why you gotta bring Urban into
I'm
this?
trying to
did it.
get-
You know he did
Why
it.
Urban gotta do?
I'm trying to get every bit of energy I have to have momentum to get the yard or two, because there's so many bodies, right? Mm-hmm. Now, you in the shotgun, your running back got to take a sidestep while everybody else on the football field is moving forward.
Yep.
So the next time, I'm telling you, because every time I see the quarterback throw from the 2-yard line, nothing good happens.
Yeah, it's a whole riot in Seattle.
By the way,
over
is
there.
scoring actually down? Do we know
If
this
you
for a fact, or are we just
offensive
guessing?
coordinator-
It just feel like it.
Feels like scoring is
It feel
down.
like it.
Because I'm
over
trying
there
to find. I'm like, I think you guys are all out of your mind. I don't think
No.
defense is any
Put the
better.
phone down.
I mean,
talking
When,
about?
what
You-
did the
you
Chiefs
got-
score? What
Look
did the Chiefs
here.
score Sunday?
Bull.
What did the Bills score
Bull, look
Sunday?
at
but
this.
he's looking at one game. The
Bull.
Bills.
Chargers?
No.
Josh Allen's got
Bull.
over 1,000 yards in 3 games.
And he lost,
Bull.
what, 17-14?
But he's 2-1. It's one game.
So?
Yeah,
Bull,
go ahead.
Bull, here's the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
You're doing exactly what I talked about. You looking at all those yards. You looking at all the stats that these teams are putting up.
It's about
and
points.
I'm looking at the score doesn't fit the stats. What's going wrong?
But it's a small sample size, Leroy, to say that.
weeks.
First of all,
That's all we do.
Is scoring
That's
down
what
from
we
last?
do.
Does anybody
That's
know
what we
for a
do.
fact that scoring is down from last year?
No,
or are
look
we
it
just
up.
saying that?
Look
I
it
don't
up.
know. I'm trying to find it.
Look at
Mike,
the
can you guys
scores.
see if you can find that?
I'm
Wait,
working on it.
I'm
Leroy,
trying to
too.
find it if it's
Hold
actually
on.
true.
I just watched the game where a team had 500 yards of offense and
That's one
scored
game.
17 points.
I hear you. But that's an unusual
Look around.
situation.
Look at the league. Look at Tampa Bay and
It's
Green
early.
Bay.
It's
Okay,
early.
hey, I got your numbers, Leroy. I
Go
got
ahead.
your numbers.
Let me hear
It's
it.
through 3 weeks, but points per team last year was 23. This year it's 21. So it is down
There you go.
2 points.
So 2 points. Okay, and it's early. It's 3 weeks.
Or 10%.
So you're telling me
If it
teams going to start
happens,
scoring more?
if it,
And it's also worth noting, Bull, this
Yeah.
is the lowest 20. It's only 3 weeks.
There you
but
go.
Yeah.
21 is the
okay,
lowest number
but we can't
since
turn it.
Since
2005,
No, I'm not. Bull.
2006.
Bull.
Okay.
All I'm doing,
That's long.
all
but
I'm doing is
16
making.
years.
Yeah.
Hey, Bull.
Yeah.
All I'm doing is making an assessment of where football is right now. That's it.
Right,
That's
I
it.
hear
I'm not
you.
saying it's going to
Back him
last
into
all
a
year.
corner like he
Right,
did.
that's all
But
I'm
I'm telling
saying.
you, if I just said something happened that hadn't happened in 16 years, can I get some damn credit?
Yes, you can.
Then you get credit.
Credit.
You get credit.
16 years.
And Leroy,
16 years.
No, he's right.
But like-
16 years.
okay.
So the stat means something.
It does. I agree with you. However, Jay's saying well, maybe his defense coming around. You can't make that judgment based on 3 weeks.
Listen, it wasn't just me.
I'm
Collinsworth
about
made
to
the
say,
point
they
on
said
Sunday
that,
night.
yeah.
Collinsworth's an idiot. Who cares about
Collinsworth
him?
is the best. He's the best color guy in the NFL. Maybe now with Herbstreit giving him some competition.
He's a Bengals homer.
Wait a
Screw
minute.
him.
So
Wait,
they
McNuggets-
both are actually. Both Herbstreit and Collinsworth are
Herbstreit
Bengals
is.
homers.
Herbstreit
And
is
so are
killing
you.
the Browns.
Wait a minute.
This is why-
No,
this is
no,
why-
Brian, not a hole.
no,
Hey.
no, Leroy, I got a question
Yeah.
real quick. This has nothing to do
Yeah.
with anything, but
Yeah.
I know you are in Miami. You cover it. The butt punt. What
geez,
was
that was
like?
horrible.
I need to hear
I'll
your
tell you what.
reaction to this.
I'm going to tell you what.
Tyreek kills you.
You know when you watch a special teams and you hear the thud?
Yep.
They go boom, boom.
Oh, we got a block. You're like, and then you look at the film and say, did he just kick him in the ass? Yeah. And so I was thinking like this. So I'm thinking like this. Just smart football, like at some point this had to be discussed, right? You on the 1 yard line.
Yeah.
The punter already lose 3 yards, so he got to come and kick it quick. Why is he backing up? If any of the action happened where you are, it
Yeah.
ain't good.
Yeah.
The only
Should that up back be going forward?
the only
So
thing that was
I don't know why he was backing up,
The o-
but it worked out because it went out of the back of the end zone.
Bro, what'd you do to your left hand?
what happened to you?
I had surgery.
What happened?
So my thumbs don't work for you're wondering why I couldn't hold on to the football? Here you go. You ready?
Thumbs don't work.
Oh, that's
don't.
disgusting.
That looks awful.
So it never really bothered me. Like I was cool because I had enough surgeries, and I was like, it's not really hurting. I'm losing some strength, because I don't have any stability because the tendons aren't there. But then I had trouble holding the golf club.
Oh, that's
It got
we gotta
serious.
get
then.
Maybe
Maybe
Tyvis needs
thumb surgery.
Here we go.
Where's the video?
So you said you openly admitting that you threw a club is what you saying.
No, you don't know. I'm to explain the technicalities of a golf swing to you is spinning my wheels, but you need some support with the thumb during
Okay.
your swing.
So
and
you
when you
get
don't have
both
that
of them
support,
done.
the club.
I want to give Director
So-
Steve a shout out because as soon as he said I was having trouble holding on to the club, within a half a second, Steve took a tight shot at Tyvis.
He also asked if we had the video saved in the system.
Of course he does.
Please,
because
we
he's
don't.
Steve.
We don't, but we will after this.
We don't need to see it ever again.
So
By the way, it
I
would've been
have a they fused my thumb, and then went into my hand, took the tendons, put them back where they go, and I have like 4 pins in my thumb.
Damn.
Oh, wow.
So, but
feel
guess
better.
what? That ain't the worst part of it.
You can't play
I
golf
gotta
for
have
6
both
months.
of them done.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta have another one done. I'm gonna wait till next year though, because
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what. This ain't no joke.
You got to have
man.
one
We got
hand
these-
free to take care of business.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
I'm ready for that golf match any day now.
Pause.
What are we doing?
Bulls
Hey,
out
you're
of
supposed to go directly to the video after somebody says something like that.
Bulls out of pocket.
No, I got it.
We just skipped it. We just moved along.
Yeah, keep it moving.
By the way, it's a shame that Mark Sanchez wasn't on the call that Dolphins game for the butt punt because he had the famous butt fumble.
Yes,
Remember?
he did. Yes, he did.
Oh, hey, but guess what?
Yeah.
We got one NFL player that was let off the hook this week.
Who's that?
Dan Orlovsky.
Yeah, they
Was
talked
let
about that
off
in
the
the
hook
broadcast.
because Jimmy Garoppolo made a run for it.
It was actually a good thing he stepped out because he threw a pick six.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. But you know what's funny? Do these quarterbacks realize that there has to be a reason why the people stop chasing them?
Yeah.
I guess not.
Where'd the pressure go?
The back of his zone, they stopped chasing you. Did you think they just gave up?
Hey, Leroy, at one point in time, I said it earlier, they jumped all over me. I said, physically, I think Nick Chubb might be better than Emmitt Smith. They was like, what? Emmitt Smith? You can't put that on his name?
Here,
I'm with you.
let me explain something to you. Emmitt Smith was an unbelievable back. But the circumstances that he played in helped him tremendously.
Sure.
Okay? And that's not taken away from anything that he's done because he did it for a long period of time. And there's a reason why he is amongst the elite to ever play the game. Okay? But when it comes to a thing that separates you from all the other guys that play your position, right? When you think of Barry Sanders, couldn't touch him. That dude just make you miss if nobody was blocked. Mm-hmm. We all consider, I personally think that Barry Sanders is the best running back to ever play.
Oh,
Wow.
Jim?
Wow.
For this reason. He didn't have the benefit of having a great offense or a great offensive line.
Jim didn't either, did he?
Who?
Jim Brown? He had a great offense.
But Jim Brown was 240, dude.
Yeah, and that was 1,000 years ago. Who knows who was
linebackers
good?
that were 215.
Right.
Jim Brown played. We don't know. I mean, Jim Brown was so long ago. The Browns had great teams back then. They had.
They won
Yes,
championships.
but think
Man,
about
I looked at
this.
Jim Brown's highlights.
What
them
Nick
DNs
Chubb,
is right in the backfield when he get the ball.
yeah, but they all weighed 210.
That's true.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm not taking nothing away from Jim because he's one of the greatest too. But let me say this: there's a difference. And Tyvis, you know this when you come up through the ranks of playing football, right? When I was playing Pee Wee, the weight limit was 110, and I was 109 3/4 toting that thing.
Oh, you cheat.
Right? Terrifying
cheating.
all the little kids in my neighborhood.
I
and in the
hate
city,
people
right?
like you.
Okay, but
That's
technically
cheating.
that's what Jim Brown was.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I got you. I got you.
You think how would Jim and I'm not saying he wouldn't. I think Jim Brown would be great in all
No doubt.
at every level, every time frame, anywhere you put him, he's gonna be great. But the difference is that linebacker that's chasing him now run a 4.4 in this 250.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and what you look at with Nick Chubb, and the incredible thing about Nick Chubb is he go inside, he go outside,
Does it all.
he take it to the house, he does everything, and he does a lot of different things that all these great players did, right? He'll make you miss. He'll look, just because you there to tackle him, what do that mean? That don't mean nothing. It don't mean you gonna tackle him.
If you
He breaks tackles. He gets stronger as the game goes on. So there's a lot of things that go into what makes Nick Chubb great.
If you feel
Now,
like that about Jim Brown, I hate to see how you feel about.
But he's not
Mike.
dogging Jim Brown.
No, I'm not
Dude,
saying.
did you see
I'm not
Barry
dogging
Sanders
Jim
play,
Brown.
or are you too young for Barry
I
Sanders?
see.
Here, I'll
it
give
was
you.
towards
You
the-
want me to give you?
No,
You want me
no.
to give you?
I'm not
You want me to
saying-
give you another example at a different position?
No, what I was going to say is, if you feel like that about Jim Brown and about the time he played, then I hate to get into a LeBron and Michael Jordan conversation with you.
No. Here's the thing, though. Here's what I feel about Michael Jordan and LeBron James.
That Giannis is better
You
than
tr-
both of them. Yeah, I know.
Lord, he
You
done
trying to compare two different types of players, and that makes it difficult because when it gets down to it, the only thing you can go by is what they've accomplished. Because Jordan and LeBron are two different players. Okay, so let me ask you this: if Jordan was unstoppable, the only truly unstoppable basketball player with a skill set that was unstoppable was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No, it's actually Giannis Antetokounmpo, but that's another story.
But he can't shoot from the outside.
Says who?
Can't shoot threes.
Who says who? I watched you win a game because of
Let's
it.
By the way, I'm sorry. I got to cut everybody off because I just want to back Leroy up here. In my lifetime, and Jay, you're old enough too. G, you're actually you're old enough for Barry Sanders too.
Yeah.
I agree with him. I think to me, Walter Payton, amazing. We could go Eric Dickerson and Earl Campbell and all these great. But I would take Barry Sanders over anybody I've seen play.
His skill set.
Anybody I've ever seen play.
His skill set, right?
Yeah,
I'm with you.
Right.
I'm with you.
I mean, when he did on the
here's the
field,
thing.
he had nothing
Here's the
around
thing
him.
that happens. Here's the thing that happens in sports.
Yeah.
We tend to take different and make it better.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So we see what Steph Curry is doing as far as shooting the three and what he does with the basketball. So we claim him to be better than other players that have actually a different skill set. And it becomes difficult to make these comparisons. It's hard to compare LeBron to Jordan. But I will say this. LeBron did something Jordan never did. Take a bunch of stiffs to the finals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
Leroy,
You see what I'm saying?
He also did something that will never be done again, and that was to lead the NBA Finals in a 7-game series, all players in all 5
That's crazy.
recordable
Giannis
stats.
didn't do that?
No.
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 Nobody
Hey,
will ever do that. Ever.
Hey, Tyvis.
Yeah,
Tyvis.
what? What up?
Get off the Giannis thing.
Yeah, I
man.
know. It's a
Let
bad
it go.
look.
How is it?
Let it
bad
it's a
look.
bad look.
Y'all just don't see it yet.
Although in fairness,
I'm above my time.
in fairness to Jordan, he had to get through better teams than LeBron did in the East.
He did, but the Golden State team that LeBron did that against won more games in the regular
Yeah.
season than any
in
team
the finals,
ever, including
no,
the Bulls.
the finals is fair.
Yeah.
But
and he
getting
was
through the
down
East was
3-1.
harder for Jordan. He
and
had
being
better
down through.
competition.
I know, but
I heard you, Leroy. Don't worry.
you know
Yeah.
what? So somebody,
Sorry.
here's the one
Giannis
argument.
Antetokounmpo had a hyperextended leg.
Let's
and
drop
still
the basketball
got it.
nonsense.
We are not getting into
Yeah,
Giannis.
let's drop the
Sorry,
basketball.
yeah.
So Robert Smith's coming on in 2 minutes, and I want to ask you a question, and then when Robert comes on, I want to ask him the same question. For Nick Chubb, this is a homecoming. He's going back to Georgia. I'm assuming that either with the Browns or the Vikings, you played the Saints in New Orleans. Was that different for you? If so, how? How did it change the way you prepared for a game?
You know what's crazy? I played in the Superdome one time.
No kidding.
Wow.
And it was my rookie year, and we were so bad that they announced me as a starter in my hometown, and they didn't tell me, and I was in the locker room. Wow. So, yeah. So it was so messed. Like we had some struggles my rookie year, but it felt good to play in front of, the home team. But I got to play against the Saints a lot.
Right.
And one of the cool things about every time we played the Saints is that when I was 8 years old, I did pump, pass, and kick, right? And if you go up to certain levels, you get to go to the team meal before the game with your home team. And so I got to take pictures with Archie Manning, with George Rogers, Wes Chandler, Dalton Hilliard. There's a whole bunch of guys that as a kid, those were my idols, right? That I looked up to. And everybody loved Archie. And so when we played the Saints and we did the production meeting, I actually brought the picture.
Wow.
Of me and Archie when I was 8 years old.
Crazy.
So it's crazy how these things either inspire you to want to do something or just get you to want to play well. I always wanted to play well in New Orleans because, a lot of times when you go play somewhere else, the way football was, every game wasn't on TV. You only saw your local team.
Right.
That me playing in Cleveland or in Minnesota, a lot of times the games weren't on TV in New Orleans.
Sure.
So that was really one of the few times that, my friends and family got to see me.
Wow. Yeah, it was a different time then for sure. Leroy, hang on, because Robert Smith's up next. We're going to ask him the same question. I don't know if he ever played in Cleveland as a member of the Vikings, but we'll ask him that. In the meantime, McNuggets, you got something you want to mention here.
Yeah, I like how you said hang on, because on Sunday you can hang out with the UCSS crew and Leroy and DeQuell and John Abraham and Andre Rison for the first half of the Falcons-Browns
And some other
game.
dude we don't know.
And some other guys who we're
Joseph
not
Robert.
quite sure who they are. But yeah, come hang out with us. It's kind of like a virtual.
Hey,
Zoom
YG
room.
Bush down there looking like Outkast.
Hey, you all different. Okay, I see you.
Got some bad shading on that picture.
I see you.
So that is on Sunday. We have a link for the free tickets on our Twitter and our Instagram. Check it out. And it should be a good time. So,
Looking like Big Boy. I see you, Big Boy, sneaking in.
Woman eye.
That's outstanding.
and now we got Robert Smith. What's up, Robert?
Robert, welcome to the Ultimate
Robert.
Cleveland Sports Show. Did you ever play in Cleveland when you were with the Vikings?
Hey,
He came in with jokes. He gonna come in. You know what?
That's that boom headshot right there,
You
G. Bush.
Minnesota cats, I'm gonna get y'all. I'm gonna get y'all.
Hey.
No, he came in with jokes.
Hey, check this out. This how it works in the locker room. When somebody get one on somebody, you just pile on because that means it ain't on you. That's how that is.
Jumping on the pile.
Well played, Robert Smith. Well played, man.
Yeah, and I think we were up there one time. It was, I think it might have been a preseason game. I don't know. I think I was hurt.
You played a Hall of Fame
wait.
game here once.
Did
It
you
was
play-
in Canton.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Robert.
play in that Hall of Fame. I don't think I played in that Hall of Fame game either because
No.
I was coming off the ACL.
You did not. I was
Hey.
covering it. I was working in Columbus. You were there. Chris Carter was there, but I know you did not play.
Yeah, and
Did
that's
you play in the
just
game?
when Warren. That's just when Warren Moon had come to the team.
Okay,
you're
so
right.
guess what? I remember that game. I broke my hand, right? And we lost like 59-3 in a preseason game. Seriously.
Are you talking about? You're talking about the Cleveland game.
Yeah, when Minnesota went to Cleveland, when Warren Moon first got
Right.
here,
Wow.
we got
Right.
stomped. I was like,
Just a sign of things to come.
I say,
Foreshadowing.
and they say, "Hey, don't worry about it. This is just preseason." I say, "Bull!" Like, I ain't never got my butt beat like that. Wow.
They all feel the same. But the funniest thing about those kind of games though is all the new family that you didn't realize you had. The extended cousins that somehow
yeah.
get a hold of your number and
Want tickets.
like it. Yeah. Oh man. But you know what? And they used to tell us this all the time, and it is so true. I'm 50 years old now. I've been out of the league for 21 years. You never get out of the ticket business. You're never out of the ticket business. Like if you ever played in the league, people think you still get tickets all the time. Doesn't matter where the game is. Like, hey, why do you think I know people? Never mind. Like it just
Yeah.
there's this website, an app called StubHub. They got tickets too.
Yeah. And you have to pay for them.
Yeah. Let me give you my password real quick. Hey, man, this is full price. Yeah, I know.
No, that's a good line, StubHub.
Yeah.
So we're trying to figure out if this homecoming for Chubb will be any special, a special event for him. What's your take on that, Robert? Or is it just another game? You got to go do your thing.
I mean, he's such a low-key guy. It wouldn't surprise me if he probably tells everybody, hey, it's game time, it's game week. So, I don't have time for all the nonsense. He just hires somebody to take care of all that stuff for him. Have somebody on the team say, hey, can you handle all this for me?
Right.
His personality allows him to say no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
And nobody's surprised, like, oh, that's just Nick.
By the way,
it
could be a coincidence, but Nick Chubb has only played against the Falcons once. It was here, not in Atlanta.
And he went crazy.
But in that game, he had 20 carries for 176 yards.
I'll take that.
Wow.
I'll take that.
I mean, although that's not uncommon for him.
No,
I
it's
guess.
not. Leroy, I know you got to scoot. Thanks
See
for
you,
spending
Leroy.
time with us, bro. We'll talk very soon.
Stay dry, Leroy.
Protect that
Yeah,
other
man,
hand,
it's
Leroy. Protect that
it's
other hand.
pretty-
You need it.
Hey, wow, you still on that, huh? You gotta let that,
Pause.
oh, you gotta let that go. I can still lift my cheeseburger.
Hey, Leroy. At least you ain't got that ball. You don't have that ball dinger.
Oh yeah, he just got.
Yeah, that thing's
He got that
nasty.
finger that's not with the other ones.
Yeah, that's like Anthony Munoz has the same thing. It's
You might
nasty.
as well just start over.
Yeah, my boy Josh got that.
It's
Like,
nasty.
I'm going to just start over with my finger.
All right, boys.
Peace out, Leroy. Take care,
All right,
brother.
All right, Elroy.
All right.